Hello everyone. Today we're going to be watching I Become Fancy by Incognito Mode with Internet Historian. Let's check it out in the count of 3, 2, 1, go.
Brought to you by NordVPN.
Brilliant VPN.
Brought to you by NordVPN.
What does it say? Oh, the fact that it's just like satire and shit. Oh yeah. Yeah, we know that. We've been here.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Oh god.
Look at you. Uncultured. Unsophisticated.
Well, they're all true.
Middle class.
Scott, I wish I were middle class.
No, don't speak. You'll just make me throw up. I'd say cover up with this dinner jacket, but I'm afraid that you'd get your head stuck in the sleeve and asphyxiate.
Probably.
Listen, lowborn. Don't you want to be refined? Don't you want to be fancy?
Why?
Like moi? That's French. I don't expect you to know what it means, but I have some good news. Before this financial year ends, I have decided to make a charitable deduction. It's you, champ. For you see,
You can have premarital sex.
This virus. I have made several videos, though, which will show you how to bluff your way to the inner circles.
Is that? Oh my god!
Undetected.
That's.
Yeah.
To be fair, they're probably
By the time
best
the elites
friends.
find out,
Neon Genesis Evangelion is psychological and intense.
it will be too late. I get you in.
Fuck the Anja. Like, bro, I mean, to be fair, I just don't like mech suits. That's probably why. It's probably a very good anime or series.
Read all
But
your dough,
it's just
and we get out.
not for me.
That's the plan. And let's begin your instruction with theater.
Holy.
The YouTube premium of upper society.
Not anymore. They doubled the price. Everyone's quitting. Jesus, you should quit too, man. YouTube is just sucking the life out of everyone. It's like, what the fuck? Google is so
And the
rich.
first section,
Why are they doing this?
symphony.
Alright. I enjoy
The
good
first period of
symphony,
performance.
but the Nokia... Was that Nokia or Sony Ericsson?
That's called Baroque, from 1600 to 1750. This featured Bach and Vivaldi. Now, there was also a guy named Giuseppe Tartini, and he was the best one of them all, because one evening he had a dream where the devil showed up and presented him with a deal. The devil would become his teacher and impart on him everything he knew about music. Yes. Once Tartini had learnt everything he could, he handed over his violin and asked the devil to play.
That is probably accurate.
The greatest musical piece that Tartini had ever heard.
That's a decent piece.
Tartini woke up with a gasp, and he tried to recreate what he had heard in the dream. And what he wrote down was his most famous piece, the best thing he had ever written.
Holy shit,
And
really?
he said, "This is shite compared to the original."
To be fair, original was probably like apocalyptic, right? From like 200 years in the
This
future.
is nothing better than a tribute. And that's where you get the Tenacious D song from. He named this piece The Devil's Trill, and he claimed that the difference between his version and the version in the dream was so great that he would have smashed his violin and quit music forever had he not needed it for his job.
Holy shit. Okay, that's a big claim. But to be honest, in a dream state, you usually are like constructing things in the way you want them to be, as long as it's lucid, you know? So, what music you hear is not especially how the music is heard in the real world. Because dream senses are just like that. I don't know. Maybe he was just going crazy, and that was just the start of it. That was the push. Or maybe he just heard something so good, so magnificent. It reminds me of that SCP, the device that gives you the drink that you describe it. The dude who drank the best thing ever, just off himself. Like, that's his fucking insanity. Like, what?
Classical,
That's basically insane.
1750 to 1830. Mozart and Beethoven
Oh,
show
yes.
up like da 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 da.
Yep.
Now, Beethoven was famously known for going deaf.
Crack.
Once that happened, everyone told him that he should just quit music forever. But he just wouldn't
No,
hear
fuck
it.
that.
Anyway, there's so much I could say about these two. Romantic era. Now that's when everybody started
Very well.
kissing, and
We
it's
know
my
them.
favorite. Great piece. Mwah. Oh, you played wonderfully too. Mwah. We also enjoyed listening. Mwah. Mwah, mwah,
Very
mwah, mwah,
French.
mwah. All you need to know about this one is
That's
Chopin
French kiss.
and Berlioz. Berlioz, however, was not getting any kisses.
Why?
He was relatably, painfully single, living alone in Paris.
That
City of love.
sucks.
So
Being
here's how it
single
started.
in Paris,
He's there and he's
fuck.
in his early 20s, and he is looking for a new GF. So one day
That is-
he attends a
that is
Shakespearean
ridiculous.
play, and on stage he spots
Jesus.
an actress, and he immediately
Harriet.
falls in love with her. He wrote her many notes confessing his love, but her DMs went unreplied. So he began writing a symphony about her. How
God.
can she ignore this? And also around this time he started smoking a lot of opium, but don't worry about it. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he wrote this piece just
It's the
for
worst
her.
fucking drug, man.
However, his DMs still went unreplied. For several months he started to get quite
What the
disheartened.
fuck? Is she dead?
Until he saw another girl.
Oh my
so
God.
he immediately fell in love with her instead. And he said, you know what? I'm going to change that symphony I wrote, so now it's about this other lady.
Bro,
and
I
not
hope-
about that ugly one that I didn't like anyway. This time, happily, she reciprocated, and they fell in love and were
Aw.
set to marry. Da, da, da. Suddenly, what the fuck? Phones haven't been invented yet. Yes, hello, I'm busy. Oh, Rome? To study?
Rome?
Absolutely. I'll catch the first flight out. So Berlioz went to Rome to
Flight?
study music.
Okay.
However, while he was away, he got some news.
Berlioz,
What's up?
I have to tell you something.
You're pregnant. Don't tell me.
Sacre bleu.
What?
Some other, more handsome musician swooped in and married his girl while he was in Rome, and they ran away together. Berlioz was furious, and he set his
Fuck Rome!
mind
We need a
to
bitch
solving
to kill.
the
What the
problem.
fuck? I thought it was like back in the day they had to like there was no what you can just like someone else can just come and take the broad. What the
Was
fuck?
furious, and he set his mind to solving the problem. I know what I'm going to
A
do.
duel. Come on. Don't make a song about it.
I'm gonna murder her.
Yes!
And her lover.
Maybe not both.
And then I'm gonna do a self-murder.
What
this
the
gets pretty elaborate.
fuck?
His idea is to dress up as a housemaid. He has bought both poison and 2 guns. Now he's going to sneak into the house of his ex-fiancée,
God
and
damn
there
it.
she and her mother will be sipping tea, which
This is
he
insane.
has already poisoned. Then he will pull off the clothing and reveal himself. Blam, blam, sad overture. So he heads back home to Paris to do it.
Very, very
But while on
elaborate.
his travels there, takes quite a while, he has to change carriages. And when he does that,
Weeks,
he
months?
leaves the guns in one of the little cupboards. So he's
Why?
lost all his weapons. What is he going to do now?
Just knifed them, fucked them to death.
Well, his next leg on the stop is Genoa. And he decides, you
Genoa.
know what? Let's just skip the murder and go straight to the finale. So he stops off in the port city
Oh
of
my
Genoa.
god, this
And
poor
he's
kid.
there at the side of the Mediterranean. He pauses for a moment, then he throws himself in. Now, some people see this whole thing happen, and they think he's had an accident, so they run in to try to save him. They
Of
pull him
course.
to the shore. He lived.
Of course
So
it
he
is.
has now reached his lowest point. He dejectedly continues home. He gets back to Paris,
This is
and he
fucked up.
wallows around, feeling pretty sorry for himself. But he decides, you know what? I may as well do what I do best in times
Music,
of
yes
trouble.
please.
Smoke a lot of opium. And while I do that, I shall write a symphony. Although I ain't gonna name it after that hoe who stole my heart.
You
And
wanted to
so
kill,
he
basically.
went back to work. But here's the thing. It was the greatest piece he had ever written, and it premiered to a huge crowd. And you know what? It was a smash hit.
Fantastic.
#1 on iTunes. But then, and here's a bloody plot
Holy
twist.
shit, on iTunes.
Remember the first girl? Well, she attended that concert, and she realized that Berlioz was a genius. And then she wrote a letter to your boy saying how good your bloody symphony was, and sorry about not replying, I just put my phone down and got super busy or whatever.
Oh, you little
By the way,
shite.
I love you. And so Berlioz goes, well, I love you too. And a
Of
year
course.
later,
Oh my god,
they
look at
were
that
married.
hell beast.
It's a beautiful moral of the story. See, fellas, don't jump in the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Write
few
a
years
song
later, they
about
got
it.
divorced because weirdly he cheated on his wife with the housemaid.
Did you
Not that one,
why
different
not?
wife. But then he
That
married
was
that
him. Yeah, that was him.
housemaid. Hooray!
Happy ending.
But then when he died later on, for some reason, he gets buried with both of them. It's kind of strange. But,
well.
moving on to the Impressionist
Jeez.
musicians. Now that's
Hopefully they were
Claude
dead when they were married.
The what now? Claude. The what now?
Alright.
Claude. The what? You know what? You
Lucy.
better go to ad time. All right, guys. Welcome back to
That
the
must be a
Nord
fucking
Stream.
inside joke.
Today we're playing Assassin's Creed 3. Chat. Come on, chat.
Connor.
Chat. Oh, everyone's spamming Nord in the chat.
You should play a Skyrim
Hello,
if you want
new
to
follower. Hey,
NordVPN.
welcome to the Dream Team Sub Cream. Thank you so
Sub
much for
cream.
Oh,
What
unfollowed.
the fuck, dude? Day 12.
Sorry,
Oh
guys.
my god.
The cleaners are here.
Fallout.
Sorry, just
74?
ignore the
No,
mess.
that's probably 4.
I haven't cleaned up these bottles yet. No, it's just tea. It's just tea.
Yeah, those were fucking pomegranate.
I stream for 10 hours a day, and it's like the algorithm is against me or something.
It's always
How come
gonna be.
everyone is watching Asmon's stream, and I'm not getting any new followers? I'm
Because he's
Playing the
the big
games.
one. He's the
more do you
god
want me to
of
do?
YouTube and Twitch somehow.
Just a quick word from the sponsor, NordVPN
He's
is
perfect.
the VPN that you can trust. So go to
It's too expensive, though.
nordvpn.com/internethistorian for a huge
This is the problem. Like, this is the problem why people don't buy VPNs and shit like that. These plans are just to make more money for you. Like, make the plans like, let's say 20% off of the 2-year plan. 20% off of the initial price, like the price that was going to be given like for 4 months for free. No one's gonna be alive for 4 months longer than 2 years. It's not possible. I mean, you're gonna be alive if you take care of yourself, but you're not gonna be so like all knowing and like inevitable. Like just like, oh, I need that amount. No, make that 20% and give the 1 year offer. Why do you have to like make the subscription a 2-year subscription? Who fucking wants a 2-year subscription? And why is the 1 month subscription so financially fucking stupid that it makes you go and buy the 12-year, like a 12 months? Like, what the fuck? That's so dumb. The companies sometimes need to think about how a customer wants to buy something rather than how they can just like suck in all the money they want. Nothing against it. I mean, like NordVPN worked when I was using it. Eventually, like the prices, the planning was like, oh my god, what the fuck do you want? I don't want the VPN for 2 years.
deal on a 2-year plan plus
What the
4 bonus
fuck?
months for free plus a 30-day money-back guarantee. My god.
If it was
Today
20%
we are going to
off,
be
I would buy it.
watching the new Snow White movie. I
What?
love the intro. Oh, I love seeing that Disney logo. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Let's watch it.
Guys, I'm just gonna get up and get some food. I'll be back in a minute.
Jesus. Hello, Snow White. Safety report element. Violation. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's obvious. Why was it
reported my
even?
stream?
Why was streaming on Twitch ever not copyrighted immediately? Like before, I mean, it's streaming, so it makes sense. But again, like, what the fuck? We had to deal with that on YouTube for
What the
like
fuck?
months.
Who reported
years.
my stream? Hello, my Nordlings. Welcome back to the stream. Can we get some hands in the
Nordlings.
chat, guys? No, like, not like that. But
Jesus. 74. Oh my! Look at the room.
Stream for NordVPN. Today I'm going to be Coke.
Oh,
I say the word.
that's so disgusting. My ears. Oh, God.
Nord. Hey,
Kill me.
thank you for the tier 3 sub.
You're
With
welcome.
NordVPN, I can be outside my house, Jack's Film's house, Samito's house, Ordinary Things
That's
house.
not even Samita's
Just-
house. That's a land they want to buy to fucking grow potatoes in.
Welcome back to the hot
Yeah.
tub stream. What do you guys mean? How many hot dogs can I put
Minus
in my
one
mouth?
day.
Why? I'll just. Oh my god, $5,000 donation. Thank you so much. You guys are such
Yeah.
good friends.
Sometimes you
Streaming's
want to
not
be a
for
girl.
me. I'd rather
Sometimes.
go to nordvpn.com/internethistorian to get a huge deal on a 2-year plan, plus 4 months for free. And over.
Again, make it 20% off. The whole plan.
Watching Netflix, are you? All tucked in with a 3-hour essay on Good Game Good, and here's why.
Fallout New Vegas is actually
That's the dumbest. Those are the dumbest videos on the fucking YouTube. I usually go watch, like, for example, like 20 reasons why Elden Ring sucks, like something like that. Something that, like, I love Elden Ring. I played, and like, oh my god, what the fuck does this dude on about? It's like he hates this game. That's like 20 reasons. That's what I like. Like 20 reasons why Fallout New Vegas like awful. That would be a good video for me to watch. Not something that proves what I fucking already believe. Like, what's the point of
All
that?
tucked in with a 3-hour essay on Good Game Good, and here's why.
Fallout New Vegas is actually the only based Bethesda game.
Turn that on.
Yeah, you need
I've
some
got something for
self-respect.
you much less enjoyable and far more expensive.
It is.
We're going to the theater.
Jesus.
Theater, from the ancient Greek theatron, the most dramatic of the transformers. It means a place for viewing. Here's a Roman theater. They were quite simple back then. You have the stage, the
Is that a
auditorium,
theater?
and the vomitorium. Now, for a very long time, people thought that the
Is that real?
vomitorium was a place where the Romans would gorge themselves, where they would eat so much that they would
I
throw
doubt
up
it.
and then gorge themselves again because they were so decadent.
Yeah, that is a
and/or
very,
believed.
very, very serious disease, isn't it?
But it comes from the word vomir, which means to spew forth, because that's where people go in and out. So
Oh.
vomitorium is just a dramatic way of saying the entrance. Now, if you skip forward to the
Makes sense.
1800s, things are getting a lot more modernized, but they still didn't have
That's
electric.
prettier.
So they had what's called the limelight. And that's why they say to be in the limelight, to be the star of the show. What they would do was take a piece of quicklime
Why
and
lime?
heat it up super, super hot, which will naturally glow very bright. They would then take reflective mirrors and lenses to focus the beam, and they would use that as an early form of the spotlight.
Oh, a projector. All right,
Limelight
okay,
is
that
not
makes more
because
sense.
It's green, but because it's made from quicklime. In the modern day, things are a lot more advanced, and they can do all sorts of cool shit with like lasers going into your eyeballs and all sorts of stuff. But it's not
Yeah,
just
I
the
mean-
tech that's
But again, like, that is just another waste of money, isn't it? Isn't it? Theaters, like, come on. Yeah, I assume theaters at some point are gonna die because it's just so much like, more expensive to make some form of play with the theater like equipment and shit, and actors. Like, oh Jesus, how many fucking people? And just an AI can just do it in the future like that. Like okay. People hate AI generated arts and shit because it's making like artists absolute. But at the same time, everyone's using AI right now, especially people with high-end like GPUs. You are using FSR, you are using DLSS. Like, people are using this. Yeah, so like super sampling is AI. Everyone's using it, and it's the best thing ever. It makes everything so much more smoother and beautiful. And I see people on Reddit who make rules. It's like, oh, don't post like artificially generated art. It's like every screenshot you take of this game is artificially generated. What about you? Like, change is going to happen no matter what. And at some point, embracing it is the only way forward. You can't just stop it.
Quicklime. In the modern day, things are a lot more advanced, and they can do all sorts of cool shit with like lasers going into your eyeballs and all sorts of stuff.
But
But it's not just the tech that's had an upgrade, it's the architecture as well. In Elizabethan times, they had the yard, and you could get in here for about a penny apiece. And this is where all the poor people stood to watch the shows.
Aw.
It's like when you go to Oppenheimer and you end up with the worst seats in the IMAX theater, right?
That chin.
Thankfully,
God.
in modern times, we have fixed that problem. We
Yep.
kicked out all the poor people, and we sunk the floor down low and put in an
Prices
orchestra.
are still
Now,
high
these
as
things are
fuck.
usually 6 to 12 feet deep, so they're not obstructing the audience's
Ooh,
view.
dangerous.
But having a giant hole at the end of a stage is quite dangerous.
Yeah.
So usually they put
God.
a big net there as well. And yet, a lot of people still get pitted. Like a lot of people. In
There should be a
2011,
fucking railing there, like an invisible railing.
during a production of
that
The Sound of
zaps
Music,
you when you
one of
fucking
the
go
lead
there.
actresses fell into the orchestra pit and was left paralyzed from the waist down. In 2009, a conductor, not a
How
superconductor, just
fucking tall is this fall? And what is the floor made of fucking concrete? What is it? Not a fucking carpet or
a
something?
regular
It's
one,
I thought it's in
fell
fucking
14
France and
feet
shit.
into the dark pit
Jesus
and
Christ!
broke 9 vertebrae and 1 ankle.
Don't put a Mortal Kombat on it.
And he fell on his pointy conducting thing. At the Bolshoi Theatre,
Oh
a
my God.
violinist died from his injuries after falling into the pit. This theatre is
Like,
prone
more people are dying from theaters than sharks. We need to fucking kill theaters.
to all sorts of
Like, what
accidents, by
is
the way.
this?
It's kind of cursed. But performers and musicians aren't the only ones falling into the pit. In 1988, an 82-year-old man fell from his balcony box seating all the way
Fell.
down
That
into
dude
the
wanted
pit
to just
during
do
a
something.
performance of Macbeth.
What the fuck was he doing?
Died. Very spooky.
Jesus.
Even already dead people are
82
getting
years
pitted.
old.
In 2016, a man sprinkled his friend's ashes into the orchestra pit at the Met Theatre. This happened during the intermission, and it was a sort of tribute to a mentor of his.
He just
But of course,
felt-
people went, "What the hell are you doing?" And he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't know."
Dust dispenser. What the fuck is wrong with you? Wait until everyone's take permission from the owner, and it's like my friend was like I love with Macbeth or whoever. It's like let's sort of like put the ashes in the building or
And
something.
he flees the scene. Everyone's coughing and sneezing up dead guy, and people
Ash
think,
and
is
Ron?
this anthrax? What is this? So they call in the anti-terrorism police, and the whole show is cancelled for the rest of the
That
evening.
is so dumb. Oh my god, that's so much waste of energy and money for fucking
A
stupidest
quick
reason.
intermission. Or is it? Ooh, Fiddle-tee-dee, I am the trap master.
Okay.
Not like that. Do not ask me to reveal my secrets, woman. I have dedicated my life to the mysteries of the theater. Ah, the theater. She has so many enigmatic traps.
Yep, probably. What
Let
the?
us start with the
Magicianism?
most simple yet devious.
Hot dogs?
The wall trap. It allows the actor to walk directly into the set piece. Ah, where did he go? Nobody knows.
Holy shit, did you
Cast
see
your
that?
eyes over here to the genie trap. Now the victim stands on this dumbwaiter,
Victim?
and a counterweight launches their hapless body up onto the stage. Wheesh.
Oh, that is so
In the olden
cool!
days, this circle of flaps would sometimes go on top, and then that would make the whole thing just one way. Now, back when they made this thing, they didn't have hydraulics. So instead, they'd have like 6 stagehands pulling as fast as they could.
Oh my god.
And sometimes it would go totally wonky,
To
or
be
it wouldn't open properly, or the
Bonk. To be fair, I trust that more than hydraulics. Hydraulics can fucking squish you
would
to
only
a
get
fucking
about halfway
flat.
through.
Oh god,
well,
that
I guess
wouldn't
that's
happen. The
it.
wood just
There's
breaks.
only 2. Wrong. This is the vampire trap. And if I want
Huh?
to come back up again, this is called the sunroof trap. Very cool.
Oh,
Watch out
that's
for the
really
closing
cool.
doors
Yeah.
on this one. It managed to trap Spider-Man's foot back into production in 2013. Me and the Green Goblin we
You alright?
collabed on this one. All right,
Probably.
there's one more. The Ghost Glide. What you do is stand on this slidey bit, and it ascends diagonally, which makes it look like he's coming out of the ground. But the ladies are there yawning, they're going to show the ghost. But then
You try it. You do it.
5 foot, 5'1", 5'2". All the ladies are turning their heads now. 5'3", 5'4", 5 foot.
Okay,
All the ladies
almost
are
average.
Now, I bet you're wondering, what happens to the actors when they go down these traps? Are they dead and gone forever?
It's not that fucking
Yes,
one movie
sometimes.
with the dead
In
magician.
1888, Frederick Federici was playing the role of Mephistopheles in Faust at the Princess
Oh,
Theatre
no.
in Melbourne. As he descended the trap at the end of the play, "Goodbye, everybody, goodbye," he had a heart attack and died, never seen again. So as you can imagine, with this many deaths,
What the
theatre
fuck?
has become a highly haunted place. Oh yes. In fact, sometimes you can put your ear right up to the wall and you can hear 2 male ghosts wrestling. Can't fake that. Ah, another ghost
What
hole.
wrestling?
Don't look inside. I did once. Almost went blind. That's why I wear the
What a
mask.
glorious hole.
Anyway, because of all the ghosts, the theatres do whatever they can to keep the spirits happy.
What the fuck made those? Is this this is metal, right? It's not wood. It's it's wood. It's wood based on texture. Because who the fuck made these holes? Like bugs eating it? Like what
Do
the
whatever
fuck?
they can to keep the spirits happy. See this? It's called a ghost light. When everything is
Ghost
closed,
could
it is
come.
kept on always. Kept on for the ghosts, so that they don't, bump their shins in the dark or whatever. At the Palace Theatre in London, there has been some ghostly activity.
Cursed child.
Bit of a hotspot for ghostly activities.
And that's why they always keep 2 empty seats at the back, so that the ghosts may sit there and watch the show.
Holy shit.
So that's why we traditionally kept a couple of seats off sale for the ghosts. However, Harry Potter is so popular that we sell those seats now.
Oh. Also, most theatres close
Yeah,
for 1 day
fucking
per...
like inflation killing like ghosts like happiness. Like they're like basically sacrificing something for another.
And on those days, the ghosts are left to perform for each other in their own shows. Which they like, we think.
I was worried about my own vagina.
Oh, finally, the vagina monologues.
A culture of other vaginas.
You know,
I'm so
I
sorry.
wasn't always part of the elite.
I seen that.
In fact-
fucking clip.
From a very young age, I grew up in an orphanage.
Oh no.
No, my parents weren't dead. Rent in that building was just really cheap. But my
Oh.
parents showed me no
Okay.
affection. And as soon as they could, they sent me off to boarding school.
What is a boarding? Types of boards. Huh? Okay, so a literal like Najjar, like woodworker, someone who works with
Boards were
woods.
always their passion, not mine. I tried to run away, but they caught me. And boy, did they
What's the
throw
best
the book
board
at me.
then? It's like
Alas, I did not dodge
walnut
time.
probably. Jesus.
I spent the next few years in a coma. A Native American town, Pueblo, Acoma. And the people there taught me how to read American. They also had a
crazy,
local
it's real.
library, and I spent my days buried in books, learning as much as I could about the arts. And once someone noticed me buried under those books, and they rescued me, I knew I wanted to teach default character presets like yourselves, all about Shakespeare. Editor's note.
All right.
I started Googling Shakespeare, and I got kind of distracted, so I don't know. Here's a WAV file. You can do something with this. Put him in like a classroom or something. All right.
What the fuck
attention,
do you mean?
Everybody, I am your new teacher. You are
Was
a
that
bunch of troubled
assassination?
inner
Did I-
city youths. All you know is shoot gun, fail test, and crime. But I'm here to teach you that actually books and reading and stuff are actually pretty epic after all.
Are they? Oh, you're gonna
Now,
die.
the earliest known written language is what, Mr. Single Parent Household?
Chinese.
I don't know, teach, but you're never going to
Mesopotamian.
get through to me. Oh, really? Well, what if I go back in time? Back in time. In the long, long ago, very few could read. But to be
That's goofy. That's Kufi from Iraq, like old Iraq.
There, most of the written languages were kinda shit. This is cuneiform, the very first written language, and it has far too much punctuation. Then eventually came along the Egyptians, and they invented emojis, but they would call
Birds
them
and shit.
hieroglyphs.
To be fair, that's more recognizable than the fucking lines. Like, seriously.
Anyway,
You
the
can even if you're like completely like non-Egyptian, you can try to understand it. The other one is just like you need to realize a lot of other stuff to actually come to term with maybe understanding the alphabet. And then there's other stuff like fucking how the fuck do you make up the grammar of that shit?
Egyptians, and they invented emojis, but they would call them
So many
hieroglyphs.
birds there.
Anyway, the typical written thing would go like this. Message for you, sir. Big bird, man with stick, man sitting, circle. Oh, more bills. Eventually that became
Like
quite
Mario
annoying.
existed.
So the Phoenicians, who were a kind of Lebanese, very progressive, especially for those days. Now they came up.
Come on, Lebanon is not that big of a problem. Like Hezbollah is the problem of the when it's like super religiosity happening over there. Lebanon is pretty much like liver.
But they
Bro,
better.
like, seriously, people
they
like chill.
started going, hey, that sounds a bit like an A. Buh. That sounds a bit like a
Shit, dude,
B.
second.
Cool. And so on and so on. Until we had a proto-form of the alphabet. Now,
that's
the
so
Greeks
cool.
thought that was pretty neato, but they said, let's come up with an even
Treat
better
them.
version with 22 letters, and soon that will be like
That
English.
to be honest, that looks like fucking the periodic table. Like seriously, what the fuck? That's a Sigma.
Oral history.
Oh,
Greeks more like geeks. Got 'em. Oh,
Yep.
yeah? Well, let me tell you about some...
They just disguise himself as a kid and just vent against himself in the. Oh my god, that's such a fucking assassination class thing to
highly
do. I love
relatable. Of the
Oh my
surviving
God.
Greek works,
Very
the
serious,
greatest
amazing.
hits were the Iliad and the Odyssey. Now, because
know
most
that,
people
huh?
couldn't read,
The Odyssey.
this stuff wasn't written down for a very long time, and instead it was memorized and performed. And when they performed it, they used one of these, a lyre. Now, this
Yeah.
was great for conveying tone, right? So here's a soft bit, doo-doo-doo, but then this is a big dramatic bit. Dun, 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 dun. Now, the Iliad starts with this
They're
guy,
amazing.
Menelaus, king
Holy
of Sparta,
shit.
and he has a wife, Helen. She's a very
God,
fine lady.
no.
And then the Prince of Troy shows up. His name is
Not the
Paris,
fabled
and
shit.
he goes, "Damn, shorty, a wooga, a wooga." Okay? That's what he'd say, right? And he and his boys abduct him.
Stop matching the. It's so dumb looking with two images and no depth of field.
and took her all the way back to his crib in Troy.
Oh my god.
Now this makes Menelaus quite miffed.
Hey, hold on there, Buster.
He declares a turf war, but he can't win it alone, so he calls on his homies. Odysseus, king of Ithaca,
Holy
and Achilles,
shit.
the best
Oh
drive-by
my
shooter
God.
of all time. But
Be careful of
Achilles
his
is not
feet.
in the mood to fight, so the whole of the Iliad is basically spent trying to convince this guy to get involved.
Please?
No.
Please?
No.
Eventually, they win the turf war by being very sneaky. They make a giant horse, which is
Oh,
the
yeah.
symbol of Troy, and they leave it at the front gate.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
their way of
Trojan
saying,
horse.
"Oh, I guess you win. We're walking away now." And meanwhile, thousands of soldiers go off and hide in some bushes. Now, the Trojans are very suspicious, but they can see that the Greek ships are actually sailing away into the horizon. So
Yeah,
they know,
totally.
"Oh,
It's
it must be
nothing
real. Must be
weird,
real."
yeah.
We've won the many years.
Bro, who fucking knows that there's not some weird fucking shit in the Statue of Liberty right now? It's called the Statue of Liberty for a reason. Like they want to liberate US for themselves. Be careful, guys.
Real, must be real. We've won
like
the
a
many
robot or
years
something.
war. But actually, there's almost no one on those ships, and there's a surprise inside the horse. Later that night, when everyone's asleep, boiling hot tzatziki everywhere. And also some soldiers wearing thermal protection. They get out and they open the gates, and then everyone comes out of the bushes, running into the city
Let's
and
murder.
kill everybody.
Yeah,
After they win the war, Odysseus heads
Advantage
back
roll on
home to
everything.
Ithaca. However, on his way, he starts making beef with Poseidon, god of the
Shit.
sea. And Poseidon is mad at the disrespect, so he sends Odysseus
Yeah,
on a
oh, very
long-ass
cool.
detour. And that detour is the story of the Odyssey.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense. I remember this monster at the bottom, like the opening, the like sea opening, and I remember the like 7-headed beast that came and ate the sheep and ate one of the people. That's what I remember of Odyssey, because I was a fucking child when I watched that
Pretty
movie.
epic, right,
But
kids?
maybe I read the book now.
Whoa, Teach, that's fire. I'm starting to come around. That Odysseus guy is literally me. Yeah, I'm gonna try that horse trick on my ops. Homer, from Homer's Odyssey, is not a character in the story. He's the guy who tells the story, and then people wrote it down. Now, moving chronologically
sense.
to the next big one, you've got the Bible. And for all practical purposes, this was basically an oral
Oh my god, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Bro, that's Edward. No, that's Henry.
tradition too. Most people were illiterate by this point,
Preach.
and the Bible was written in Latin, and pretty much only the
One of the
clergy
best
knew
quests in
Latin,
gaming, man.
so they would be the one to recite it to people.
It says that the cute lady at the front should go on a date with me, please. Listen, the rules are the rules. I didn't say it, the book did.
There was a translated version into English, the Wycliffe's Bible, and you better believe that thing was a threat to the order, so they made that illegal to own.
What?
And if you were
What's
found
wrong
with an
with it?
unlicensed copy, the punishment would be death. So it remains.
Like a
the
fucking
Bible
witch,
was
bro.
read to
What the
people.
fuck?
Now,
Wait, what's the difference between them?
death. So it remained. The Bible was read to the people.
That's weird.
Now, by the 1300s came Chaucer, who wrote the Canterbury Tales, and that was a pretty big deal,
Canterbury. It's a movie.
because it's one of the first significant works written in Middle English. It describes a bunch of people making a pilgrimage from Southwark to Canterbury.
That's a game,
Here
isn't it?
to
Very
here,
difficult.
which was the longest journey anyone had ever made in the
83
1300s.
kilometers.
Now, it's a whole series
my
of stories,
God.
and most of them can be boiled down to, how come if everyone is on a pilgrimage, you're all so focused on material stuff? Oh, hypocrites much?
Yeah, dead anyways.
It's now the 1600s, and they've
Love this
updated
class.
all the textbooks from Middle English to regular. In 1601, King James I,
Like these are like the kids who fail and they're like repeating a year. It's just such a fucking boring mess. They don't want to be there. It's just the worst. Man, I mean, I never been there. I had to hold myself 1 year back because of
Middle
concours.
English to regular. In 1601, King James I said, all right, you know what? Let's everyone have a copy of the Bible they can read. Let's do a King James Bible. I won't
Oh,
feature
shit.
it, but I'd love to be in the title. And he commissioned a committee of scholars to rewrite the thing in English. God's
That's
language.
brilliant.
It took
Gods.
8 years. And that brings us to Shakespeare. And he's a huge deal. Oh, look, we're out of time.
Wait, how is
Huge
how is Shakespeare related to Jesus?
deal. Oh, look,
Or no, at least
we're out
Bible.
of time. Oh, but sir.
It's just getting interesting.
We're supposed to do penis inspection day. No, there's no time.
What?
Roll the end
Get the
card.
fuck out. It's not an anime. That
All
is
right,
it?
that's the lesson. You
But for fuck's sake, what happened to fucking King Charles?
watch the whole video. Or at least
How is that related
you
to
had it
fucking
on
Shakespeare,
in the background
motherfucker?
while you scrolled your phone. And I couldn't be proud.
Alright, this is no bullshit.
There's just one
I'm
more
gonna
quick thing I
Google
want
it.
to tell you about.
Alright.
Theater props. For example, this gun. Now, the thing... Oh, look who it is. I know what you're thinking, but it's just an actor.
Wait,
We
no.
all know
Oh,
that
no.
the real
Adam
Lincoln
Boots.
is
John.
dead.
Are you
You know, when he
John?
fell asleep on the tracks of the Underground Railroad.
That's the person.
Anyway, this thing is super realistic.
Don't
Although the
fucking-
trigger is a little loose.
God damn it. That's
Ruh-roh.
fucked up. Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Oh, I can't believe you did that, but I won't tell anyone. And in fact, good news. I'm gonna make you my little protege, and I will be your protojo. And I got
Just
so
joke
many
about
more
Meg.
lessons to teach. Still here, huh? Yes, just a little cleaning.
I'm gonna.
More good news. Next video is almost done. It'll be on incognito mode, and it's about the arts. And the next main channel video is also nearly done. That'll be out shortly after. If you're looking for more content in the meanwhile, we have another channel called Story Mode. The Metal Gear Solid and Forspoken videos are especially good. Don't forget NordVPN. Thank you for watching. More soon.
Oh wait, this is not from Incognito. This is from Internet Student's original. Like oh my god, I had no idea. Because I mean, I just consume his every content like normal. So, all right, everything seems to be fine. Let me see. Shakespeare, and King Charles Bible. Put a Bible in there to see if there is a copy. Shakespeare is in King Bible. So King Charles III is a 2014 play. But that's impossible. He will be dead. Wait, Shakespeare and Bible. Maybe Bible affected his work somehow. So that's why Internet Studios like kind of moved in to talk about it. How the fuck? What was Shakespeare's connection to Bible? The main scholarly consensus is that Shakespeare is very likely grew up with Geneva Bible in his home and at the grammar school, at the Holy Trinity. What is the Holy Trinity? Is that a real shit? Because I hear it in games. I think it's real. Trinity service would have used the Bishop's Bible. Shakespeare would have grown up hearing passages from it. By biblical Shakespeare. All right, so this is actually a fucking topic. Holy shit! All right. Not to bore you to death, I'm gonna just read that. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. This student is an absolute genius. I actually was curious about. I mean, I hate theater. I hope it fucking ends at some point because every time I went to a theater, it's just so fucking boring. I don't know. A music festival is so much more pleased, even if it's like a religious one, because it's fucking people talking about nothing. So yeah. But I was curious. Like some of his facts, some of his historian facts is rather important, especially about Shakespeare, Beethoven, Mozart, people we know, like people I didn't know, like people who were just died before, like died in so many mysterious and weird ways. So many people died of a fucking falling off the theater. That's insane. But yeah, I seen like the height of those things, especially watching so much stand-up comedy. You can see it, how dangerous it can be. But yeah, see y'all later, everyone.